Happy Thanksgiving from the Fischetti household. This is our special Thanksgiving episode of Meatless Mondays with Cathy. I promised you guys a Thanksgiving-based episode, and here it is. We are going to be starting this morning by making my sticky toffee pecan pie, courtesy of Food Network magazine, my favorite magazine ever. Last night I made the pie crust dough, and it was chilling in the fridge overnight. I pulled it out about a half hour ago, rolled it to a 12-inch circle, pressed it into a 9-inch pie plate, and it's been chilling in the fridge for a little while. Now we're going to start on our filling, the best part of a pecan pie, of course.
Just chilling.
We are going to start out with about a half cup of chopped pitted dates, which I covered with boiling water to let them soften up a little bit. Throw that in my blender. And we are going to puree that until it's soft, and then add 4 tablespoons of cold diced butter. Real butter is very important for this. There we go. Now I'm going to add my butter. Get out of there. There we go. Alright, we're going to just pulse this until it's smooth. Just want to get all the chunks out of there, you know? Alright, looking good. And now we are going to add our wet ingredients. We've got 3/4 of a cup of dark corn syrup. You can also use light corn syrup, but you're going to sacrifice a little bit of that molasses flavor. And I've also got some vanilla in here. There we go. I actually use bourbon vanilla extract for this. Can't have a pecan pie without a little bit of that bourbon flavor. Brings out that nice nuttiness, not to mention the sweetness of the corn syrup. Good. Alright, and this is going to be a pecan pumpkin pie. So we're going to add an entire 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree. Any brand will do. You can even make your own.
Yep, got the bourbon sauce. Jack Daniels is only an emergency substitute.
Alright, 2 awesome desserts in one. There we go. Alright, pulse that just until it's combined. Looking good, looking good. Awesome. And we're going to add our dry ingredients now. This is brown sugar and flour and salt. There we go. Again, just mix until combined pretty much. There we go. Alright, we are also going to add 2 eggs. Again, I like to use my egg beaters product. About a half a cup is going to be equivalent to 2 eggs. And our final filling ingredient, 1/3 of a cup of heavy whipping cream. I will, of course, also be attaching the recipe from the Food Network website so you guys can see the exact measurements and all their precise directions, in case you're more of a visual learner like I am. scrape down the the side of all this. Make sure we got everything combined in there. Nothing solid down at the bottom. Looks like it's a good thing I checked. Some of that butter made it down to the bottom of the thing. We don't want to leave that out. That glorious butter. Super important to use real butter here. I usually use margarine when I'm cooking, and most of the time when I'm baking. But for the holidays, we're going to splurge and use real butter here. Just give this another pulse or two. Much better. Oh God, that looks good. All right. Whoop. All that filling in there. Okie dokie. That is our filling, pretty much. I'm going to pull my pie crust out of the fridge where it's been sitting for about 15 to 20 minutes, just to firm up a little bit. All right, next thing, we are going to pour about 3/4 of a cup of chopped and toasted pecans. I toasted them on a sheet pan in a 350-degree oven for about 8 minutes. Sprinkle those on the bottom of the pan. I toasted a total of 1.5 cups of chopped pecans, but we're going to be saving the other 3/4 of a cup for the garnish on the top after we pour on that toffee sauce. Yummy. Look at that. That looks amazing. Oh, and the consistency of that filling is pretty much a good cross between pecan and pumpkin pie. Make sure we get all the filling in there. As you can see, I am totally covered in flour here. This apron gets a lot of love. Alright, and this is the finished, unbaked product, of course. We are going to stick this in a 350-degree oven for an hour until the outside edge is set, but the center still jiggles a little bit. That way, as it's cooling, it's going to finish baking and we don't overcook it. Nothing worse than an overcooked pecan pie, as I found out last week, actually. It will, the eggs inside will take on kind of a funky texture if it's overcooked, almost like scrambled eggs. There we go. Alrighty. I will see you guys back here in about an hour, and we are going to be making that sticky brown sugar toffee sauce that's going to go on top. Oh, that sounds so good. I cannot wait to taste this. See you in an hour, folks. Alright, welcome back. My pecan pie's got about 10 to 15 minutes left, so we're going to start making our sticky toffee sauce that's going to go on top. I've started out by melting 4 tablespoons of sweet cream unsalted butter in my sauté pan. You want to go with unsalted because you can always add more salt, but you can't take it away. We're going to add 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar. Careful not to drop that from too high, otherwise the hot butter's going to splash on you. I learned that the hard way recently. That would hurt. Just going to stir that brown sugar a little bit so it doesn't burn. Okay, and then to that, we are going to add 2 more tablespoons of our dark corn syrup. bona fide food porn. And we are going to also add 2 more tablespoons of our heavy cream. Alright, perfect. Now we're just going to stir this until it gets dark and thick and sticky, and then let it cool for a little while, and then once my pumpkin pie, or my pumpkin pecan pie, comes out of the oven, we will pour it over the top and let it sit for at least an hour until the toffee sauce sets. And we're also going to sprinkle the rest of our roasted pecans on top for some nice garnish. Alright, I'm going to finish cooking this toffee sauce, and we will come back in about 2 hours, and we're going to start making our tofurky and our cranberry walnut gnocchi. I am so excited for that. It's a brand new recipe, but I'm sure it's going to turn out wonderfully. We'll see you then, folks. Tofurky time! This is our famous tofurky roast bought at Whole Foods. This is what it looks like unwrapped. All these tofurky roasts come shrink wrapped of sorts with this little kind of staple on each end. It's quite a chore to get it off, but be careful that you don't cut too much into the roast when you're trying to get the wrapping off. Best way I find is to snip off each end, cut with scissors a little bit, and then just kind of tear it off. It's no exact science.
Use a knife.
And yeah, this thing is so good. We've got water, vital wheat gluten, tofu, soy sauce, garbanzo bean flour, lemon juice, onion, carrot, celery, sugar, salt. Oh goodness, it's gonna taste amazing, I promise you. Alright, and we are going to start out by making the base for it. We've got about 2 teaspoons of rubbed sage, and to that I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, any type of soy sauce will do, and 3 tablespoons of olive oil. 1, 2, 3. Okie dokie. Just gonna mix this up a little bit. This is my favorite part of the holiday season. I count down the days every year towards this tofurky roast. I swear I would get it like once a month if I could.
Wait.
Okay. And once you've got that base mixed up a little bit, doesn't have to be perfect, we're going to spoon about half of it over the tofurky roast first. That's probably going to equal about a tablespoon and a half or so. There we go. Just let it run down the sides there. Dang. This is going to look incredible once it's done baking. Alright. Now we are going to cover it with foil tightly. And we're going to bake this roast in a 350 degree oven for about an hour and 15 minutes. And then after that, take it out, spoon the rest of the base over it, and bake uncovered for an additional 10 minutes before slicing. And this tofurky roast is pre-stuffed with a wild rice stuffing. It's really, really delicious, actually. Okay, all tightly covered and ready to go. Pop it in the oven. Alright, in about 45 minutes I'm going to check on it, and we will also start our cranberry walnut gnocchi. That is going to be delicious, and I'm also going to be making a maple whipped cream to go with our pecan pumpkin pie. That sound good? Awesome. See you guys in 45 minutes. Hey! Alrighty, my tofurky roast has about 40 minutes left in the oven, and I'm going to start on the vegan creamy country gravy. This gravy is the best gravy that I have ever had. I've started out by whisking 1/4 cup each of flour and yeast in about a tablespoon of olive oil. And then I'm going to start slowly incorporating my 1 cup of soy milk and 1 cup of vegetable stock. Let me switch hands here. Oops. Alright. And we want to keep whisking this until it doesn't have any lumps. There we go. See, the flour is going to be the thickening agent here. That's what's going to get it nice and creamy. This smells so good already, guys. This is amazing. Just drizzled over the tofurky. You can dip the biscuits in it. It's really good the next day on, you know, tofurky sandwiches. So much good stuff here. I'll be back with you in just a second, folks, and then we're going to start incorporating all our flavorings. And while this is cooling off, I'm going to start on our maple whipped cream. See you in just a few minutes, alright? Alright, my gravy is beautiful and thick, and it's just going to need to cool off. While that is cooling, we are going to get to work on my maple cinnamon whipped cream. I cannot wait to taste this. Alright, I have been chilling my KitchenAid glass mixer bowl and the whipping attachment in the fridge for about an hour or so now. The benefit of this is that as you're whipping air into your whipped cream, the room temperature bowl doesn't warm it up, you know? Cold whipped cream will make it set faster. Okay, we are going to do 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. There we go. Some cinnamon sugar. 2 tablespoons of pure maple syrup. Isn't this thing cute? A little maple leaf. One. Now, real maple syrup is not all that sweet, but it's going to put in all that wonderful warm maple flavor without too much of the sickly sweetness that you get in pancake syrup. And then we're going to do 1/2 teaspoon of my bourbon vanilla extract. Oops. Let's connect my beater attachment. And we are going to whip this until stiff peaks form. Basically, when you pick up the whipper attachment and hold it upright, the whipped cream shouldn't fall over or drip. And it's probably going to take about 10 minutes to whip it like that, but just be careful with the whipping time. Too much whipping and this is going to turn into butter. All right. So we will see you here in about 10 minutes, and then we're going to start my cranberry walnut gnocchi with sage brown butter sauce, the ultimate side dish. See you then, guys. I have been one busy bee over the last hour. I made my cranberry ricotta gnocchi from flour, ricotta cheese, finely chopped cranberries, an egg, and some Parmesan. I will, of course, be posting the recipe for you later. And now I'm working on our brown butter and sage sauce. I had about 3/4 cup of butter sauteing in my pan, and I added some chopped fresh sage. See that golden brown color? It smells unbelievable in here. That is just what I wanted to happen. Now we are going to throw in some toasted walnuts and cranberries and stir that around for just a minute, and then we're going to add our gnocchi. After I let my gnocchi dough sit for about 10 minutes, I kneaded it, then rolled it out into long, thin snakes, about 1 inch in diameter, then cut it into little pillows, and boiled it, then boiled them in batches for about 30 to 60 seconds per batch. And here they are. They have been keeping warm in a boiling water bath. That's full. The bottom of that bowl is probably going to be pretty hot, so grab my old glove. There we go, that's better. And we're just going to throw them into the sauce. So good. Look at all those little pieces of cranberry in there. And the gnocchi itself. Take a look at that. How yummy does that look? Alright, awesome. And toss gently to coat. Let me grab a spatula for that. There we go. Ooh, that looks so yummy. I cannot wait. The smells in this house have been incredible over the last few hours. I pulled my tofurky out and it is perfect. The smell I have been waiting for all year. And this brown butter sauce. You know what? I've never made brown butter sauce before, but this turned out splendidly. The sage is so warm scented. The butter has this nutty scent to it, almost like cinnamon, but not quite as sweet. And I'll bet it is going to be so rich. And the cranberries provide a little tartness as well. Not to mention it's Thanksgiving. You can't have Thanksgiving without some kind of cranberry dish. And this dish basically concludes our Thanksgiving edition of Meatless Mondays with Cathy. I will definitely be posting later on and letting you know how everything turned out, and I will be posting the recipes as well for our cranberry walnut gnocchi with brown butter sauce and my toffee pecan pie, so you guys can make the recipe yourselves. I have had so much fun making this video for you today, and I hope that you have just as much fun watching it. Please comment and let me know what you would like me to make next week, and I will see you in a few days for Meatless Mondays. That's a wrap, people. Happy Thanksgiving.